What is happening, beautiful people? You are back with the Swab, aka the B Man, and the man himself, El Capitan, my dear old dad, Captain Alan Staple, coming to us
Ah,
live from Allegro.
just another lovely day here on the boat.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
apologize for the technical difficulties, but when you put electricity on water, well, not much good comes of it.
yeah, it's been what a
Some good.
whirlwind week, Brent. Right?
I got so fired up on two very specific directions that I will get into. We got to do a little catch up for everybody because it has been a whirlwind week. We would like to happily welcome back to our space Zach Rector, who we this trip I got a chance to meet him and his amazing wife, and we got a chance to do some video with them. And Zach's the real deal. If you've seen his show, he just put out a interview with the CEO of Uphold. Check that out, as well as his new videos. I'm already loving it. Just loving having Zach back. To all of the other creators in the space, um, I really this is it's not an army anymore, as my dad is so made popular. It is a family, and we are here to support the other content creators and the people that follow them, and all of the people here that follow us. Um, I just had this amazing conversation with my dad before the show, and he and I are both just 100% on the timing and whatever we can make all work for you and building you up and how we can see you be prosperous in the ways of your life is what this channel is all about. And this week and the weeks leading up to it were a huge reminder of that. That is what we're here for. We're here to bring the information, the energy, the light, and I could not have chosen a better partner to do it with. The captain of our ship. Um, you were built for this, Dad. Your mind works in that way, and talking to people like you and Northern Living and Sean and so many others who we'll mention also. Really just inspired me on one of the angles, which was to start back at the beginning and just absolutely deep dive the entire chessboard. And I have already begun work doing that so that I can bring as much information and, as many cool angles as you bring, Dad, so that we can all just keep sharing the gold and keeping this thing fun and interesting. And that's where I'm at. Where are you at?
same. I'm uh I'm really I'm getting so much, we're creating such a family as we like to say. There are so many it's bigger than content providers too, you know what I mean? It's I, as you know, Brent, you got to be behind the scenes this past week, and the amount of people that just pour out to you, not only their friendship and their family and our relationships with each other, they pour out their knowledge, and they come from real estate or banking or just a truck driver who listens to so much content, and they have so much to add to all of us, and they share it all so freely with us because well, we're approachable, and we know we're all in this together, and it's such an advantage to be part of this group because it's filtering in from all walk of life, and that's the best information because it allows you to really feel like you're in touch with everything and everybody, so it's relevant because it's so well rounded and based on human experience. And I've been trying to catch up on all the people that I meant to call during the show or during the Vegas week that I was trying to like I was running around like a chimp in a suit. But I when I last year I had more time for everybody, and this year I didn't. So I was trying to catch up with people. I had the most unbelievable experience on the phone with our buddy Frank, who I don't think he watches our live stream, but I called him and left a message, and he called back, and he and I must talk for an hour and a half, and he dropped some just bombs on me, and I was like, "Wow, this is so cool." Um, just really, I don't know, just everything about it. Uh,
Yeah.
I'd love to drop some of those bombs, and I will over the shows to come, and little bits and pieces here today. But
Yeah.
those kind of people in our lives is just making the family stronger and bigger and more connected. And like I say, it's bigger than just Zach or Molly or ourselves or content providers. It's people that are doing the serious work, like the legend, who's
Yeah.
evidently having some live stream issues.
Mhm.
Sean Robbins, guys, those of you who do not know, of the 40 some odd of you in here, Sean Robbins is a researcher extraordinaire, and
Yeah.
he dedicates his off time, literally 20 hours a day when he's not at work,
Mhm.
um, to the research for the family, for XRP,
Yeah.
the whole family. And it's just a blessing to have him in our family.
He wants to
He,
make sure Sean wants to make sure that we got this right.
yeah,
And the man has dug to China to get us that kind of confirmation. And
yeah,
anything that he says and tells me about it, I'm quick to read it, um, because we've got to bring that. There was a question from our beloved Atlantic Living dad, and that was during the show. Is there anything that we learned that was new, that maybe we didn't previously know about XRP or Ripple? Um, it's complex, because, like our friend Melissa said in a show this week, there wasn't the spectrum of conversation. It wasn't Moon Bros. It wasn't that low frequency like, well, I got my bag and I'm off to the races, babe. I got this, man. It wasn't that at all. I didn't get any of that. Um, and we were so busy, gluing the crew together and contacts and making content and things that Dad and I missed some parts of the show that we're catching up on, that people are posting, luckily. Um, but it was the overall pulse. It was talking to people like Sean, who have dug in and dug in and dug in and looking at, as I wrote back to him last night, um, I've been waiting and looking for a blockchain that is the little bighorn of blockchains. They made enough supply and they went global enough to where it is going to, when it does, kick on and do what it's, was built to do, which was to, oversee and take over the Swift system. We're the whole globe is getting positioned to be able to acquire it and do so. And all of us, it's still affordable to purchase in our minds and eyes, and people who are just getting into investing in crypto. Um, and that to me, pulse wise, temp in the room is it, the people who are in Ripple believe in it. They believe in it. They're telling us that they're not selling it. We're in this thing. We ain't selling. Um, and that was kind of the overall I got. Was there anything specific, Dad, that jumped out to you?
Yeah, it's a great point, Brent. There were so many people there that had, you know, connections to what's going on in the industry itself. That was you just couldn't help but like independent of XRP. There were people just in the industry and in precious metals who actually did a 180 on XRP that were like, wow, I was really against all that stuff now. And now that I've done a little bit of fundamental research, Lynette Zhang comes to mind. And she's like, oh, wow. And finally, I have to say, I owe her maybe an apology to some degree. Um, she actually quit the company that she was selling precious metals for. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but somebody sent it to me, and I think it was Rebecca sent it to me. But anyway, somebody sent it to me, and it was like she quit the company that she'd been with for 15 years, and then now she's talking about crypto. And I was like, yes, now we're getting some, because she was only selling her book before, which is I
Mhm.
work for this company who sells coins, you know, and it was like
Yeah.
so obvious to me. I was like, look, lady, what do you mean? What are you talking about? You need to really look into crypto. And if you don't know any XRP, what are you looking at? You're telling me about sound money, but you don't know what's going on with XRP. Like, and then she went to the XRP convention, and I thought, wow, this is big. This is really big. And then she told everybody at the show that she's no longer with, I think it was, I don't even want to give them a shout out, but a coin company, and she's on her own now, and she's actually opening her eyes, if she wasn't already open, I don't know, about cryptocurrencies and in particular about XRP. And it was really refreshing to see like other people that are outside of the XRP family who are actually doing the research and figuring things out. And
Mhm.
the announcements just keep pouring in. I mean, the SBI thing, Sean and I were talking about this the other night, and you know,
Yeah.
this bank CEO comes out and says, we're going to be using the XRPL with every bank in Japan in 2025. That's not like 10 years out. That's now,
No.
people. That is now. That means they're already loaded and ready to go before they just push play. They're doing beta on all of it now, I'm sure. So it's all huge.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see the space and everything and the behind the scenes stuff that's happening with it all. I caught a great conversation with a gentleman the other night about banking in particular, from JP Morgan, a friend of mine. And he kind of did a 180 about banking. He's like, oh, because he's a venture capital guy, and
Mm.
that's all he does for Goldman. And he's like, yeah, oh yeah, oh, by the way, it's bigger than ETFs. And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, okay, right. We've been telling you that for a long time.
Yeah.
We're not even into ETFs. What are you
No
on
kidding.
about?" And he's like, he goes, "It's bigger than that, Alan. It's the exchange of all money." And I went, "Yeah, yeah. See, where you like, I wanted to just grab the damn phone and shake him by the neck. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
man, where you been?
Where
Like,
is this
you
Russia?
guys are catching
Russia,
up
Danny?
finally."
Yeah.
It's
Hello.
so refreshing though to hear somebody of his, you know, ranking or caliber or whatever you want to call him, just finally, whoa, wait a minute. You're not listening to the evening news when you have that opinion. Wow. Hey. That's
Yeah.
cool. You had your own thought, your own research. Love it. So yeah, good
Yeah,
fun.
Sean sent me down that the life of Matthew Mellon, and start to draw those connections. Everybody, do your research on what he was doing towards the end of his life. He was moving towards crypto, and he
Yeah,
was moving
yeah.
towards one that you might hold.
I
Yeah, hey, our
I saw
poker
Go ahead.
our poker extraordinaire is with us, Dad. I want to send a very special Mother's Day to both my moms, Sue and Elizabeth. I wouldn't be the person or man that I am without your love and the way that you've accepted me and been my friend. Um, it means a lot to me, and it meant a lot to me being with Elizabeth all week, and I to be able to do something like this with my parents is I want all of that for you. I want you all to whatever opportunities you find and whatever prosperity you want to create. Um, foster the connection that you have with your family and friends. Of course, of your choosing. And I'm so blessed that I have the mothers that I do, and the fathers that I do, and we're a blessed family, and we're gonna share parts of that, and we're gonna dive back right into this.
Yeah. It's Mother's Day out there, guys. Give your mom a hug.
Yeah,
Chocolates,
flowers,
flowers, whatever
all the
works.
good stuff, all the good stuff.
Yeah. More a hug and just tell them how much.
Smooch, Vern.
Yeah, just tell them how much uh
Whew.
how sorry you are for being an idiot most of your life to them,
Yeah, I apologize. I would like
and
to
how
apologize to my
much
mothers.
smarter you are now. Like, because when we're
Yeah,
young, we're pretty tough on old mom and dad. I don't know what we're thinking when we're teenagers, but anyway, yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, it's never too late to get it right.
right, right.
Sean,
Sean,
Sean
I
said,
told
I
my
told
mom
my
you're
mom
welcome. Is
you're
that
welcome
wrong?
today. Is that wrong?
That's so wrong on so many levels. I can't even get
Yeah,
into it. But anyway, yeah,
it's good.
yeah, yeah. That's good.
Okay. I we were inspired this week. Go ahead, Dad. Go ahead. I know.
I just want to say, we didn't do a live stream last Sunday. We were driving home. Um, I, I know, I know it was difficult for us to do a lot of live stuff there. It was just so you're in the moment, guys. And that's really that's why I want you guys to go next year if you can afford to. Hopefully, we get a nice bull run and everybody can afford to go next year. But I really want you to go because we're all in the moment, and it's so much fun to be in the moment with everybody. But we did do a live stream last week. I'm not going to apologize for it because I was driving home and we were all exhausted. But I am going to say that we are doing our best to do every Sunday midday like these are, and we're going to try and stay consistent at that because unless whatever something crazy happens, but it's so refreshing when I get to meet somebody in person who's been in the live stream or watches our channel, and it's like, wow, man, this is so cool. Let's talk about this or let's talk about that. Then you can become the part of the family or this tight net group that actually supplies the inside info, and you can direct link us and be part of our Patreon group. Most of you clearly are, and the ones of you who aren't, you can direct message us. I got so many great comments over the last week of news information that isn't even out there. Like I'm getting stuff from you guys that's not even, well, you'll see. I'm doing a video that I'm going to drop in the next couple of days about news events that we all share with each other that has nothing to do with mainstream media. And that's how we know that you bought the right coin, because they're talking in the exact opposites of what you and I know about uh, SBI, for instance, with Japan, what's happening there. And nobody's even talking about it in the media. Nobody.
No, of
Hardly
course
even
not.
any XRP channels. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is a big deal, man. Big deal. Anyway,
Yeah,
um, but when we meet it in person, we can exchange information and stuff like that. That's really a plus for us as a family.
it is. Um, the point guard's in here with us. He always makes a big showing. Um, we've gotten the privilege to be at 2 seminars with him now, and his amazing wife, and she said some things to me that were game changers, for me personally. So did Molly Elmore and Lewis Jackson this week. They did a video together, and they're beloved here in our XRP family community. Um, but the way that they're both evolving, and how they want to go about it. Molly, creating this really beautiful kind of spiritual angle and inspiring and gluing us together that way, is a lot of what I'm working on Patreon. And so to hear her and watch her go down that road is amazing. For Lewis Jackson, where has he been at? Lewis is building a school. He's building, and now the videos he's putting out is teaching. And some of us, like my dad's kind of taught me, is like, we got the stuff now, the car's working, what's the ride gonna look like? And some of us are still very interested and see that by seeing how the car works and appreciating the car. And for him to go back really and teach the people who aren't as savvy at it as we are, and to do it his way, I just have nothing but respect. And I love the videos that he's put out, and they were always my favorite videos of his, when it was kind of instructional and teaching and inspiring that way. And so I just really identified with that. I wanted to give them a shout out this week. If you're not following us on Twitter, excuse me, X, I'm living on there now. And the shout outs that we are getting, Dad, from the community, it's just, I can visualize now those connections, you know, um, from Landon and Zach and Molly and all these people, kind of come together, and they put you in the link, and they want you to watch, and they're sharing. And that's what I want for the crew, everybody. If you've got something that you're researching and you're passionate about and you're digging deep on, for me right now, I'm rereading Digital Finance by Baxter Hines. I don't want to just understand blockchain, right? I want to understand what all the other financial tools and instruments and companies might do with it, and how that's all going to work and function together. Big picture. And if you're working on something, you're digging down deep like Sean is, share that with the crew. Not just for Alan and I, but share it with each other. Because these gold nuggets might be that light bulb for somebody and gets them running down a road that they just totally identify with. Like Lewis and Molly did for me this week. So please share it. If you got the gold, let's share it with each other.
Yeah. We One of the things that you know you go to a meetup like that or a show and you think to yourself, okay, I know what's gonna happen. It's like, no, that's not what happens. You think, oh, you're whatever, you're in the medical field and you've been to a medical convention. That's not what you're gonna experience here. What you're gonna experience at this that type of meetup is so different than anything you've ever been into before. And what you just brought something up, talking about digital research and whatnot. Just out of the blue, I ran into Quincy, and I had met him last year, just very briefly, Quincy Jones, and it was so like, "Hey man, how you doing? What are you doing?" "Oh, nothing." "Hey, could I get 10 minutes with an interview with you later?" "Yeah, man, sure, no problem." Like, and the next thing you know, he and my son become like inseparable.
Yeah,
And
brother.
literally, we spent, I don't know, 5, 6 hours hanging out with our posse, if you will. Like six,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 of us. I can't remember the numbers. We're just going here, and then we're going there, and then we're going over to this place, and then we're going to the next place. And we end up spending dinner and moments and times and memories with somebody who's, one of the co-creators of XDC.
Yep.
And those of you who are in the space and you're like, well, I'll never meet anybody like that. I'll never know anybody like that. I like, I don't know. No. Like there was 2 or 3 people that were hanging around with us that are like they're like blown away. Like there's no way I can actually meet these people. Yes, you can go to dinner with them. You can hang out and go to lunch with them. And it's not like they're special or anything. You're just like they are. And that's what you get from these shows. Crypto is so new, guys, and you're the cutting edge, and you're going to be part of history. You're you're going to be part of these groups that were 5 and 10 years from now. I saw GM post in there. Yeah, man, you got plenty of coin there, brother. You just hang tight on your stack. And I
Mhm.
agree with Northern Living. Don't post how many coins you have. I
No.
know that was a hypothetical number, but don't post that. But you're going to be part of what is so revolutionary. And I know I talked about this in my last video, but you're going to be an authority in the space. You you are. I know you don't have a channel. I know you just listen to other content people. I know all that. But there's so many millions of people, billions of people that have no idea what this space is going to and where the future of all this tech is going to be. And you're going to look back and you're going to be one of the people that were the creators of Wi-Fi or internet. You were one of not just the creators, you were involved in it, initial investors. And that's so big because you know all the little intricate parts that have evolved over the last few years. And you'll be able to regurgitate, tell the story of, hey, I remember this guy, and this guy became that. And you're part of it. You're part of this family of people. And there's no person too big in this space. They all want to know you. They all want to just talk with you and share their knowledge with you, and it's so amazing. It really is. It's amazing. And you are big. You're not just a person that watches or consumes content. You're way bigger than that. And it's so hard for me to, I know it just sounds like words coming from me, but it's not. Every year I meet the same people, they're a bigger and bigger part of what's going on at the show. Just ask Sean what his experience was. It it it's mind blowing, man. The guy doesn't even have a show and he's legend. Shows
Yeah.
are calling him legend. Just let
Yeah.
that sink in for a minute, guys. Just
Mhm.
just the, because he's a researcher and because he shares his content and because he listens to other people and we're all in this network together.
And because Sean
It's
Sean is unabashedly himself.
Yes,
He is
yeah,
he is himself 100%. And
Yeah.
that's what we want all you to be.
Yeah.
Making this thing work for ourselves, is step one. And then you can help others, right? You get the oxygen mask on, you get your flotation device, and you start helping others. Um, what is your path? And when we went to our first event, to elaborate on what you said, Dad, at that event, they're teaching Joe Schmo how to start an LLC, how to start a business. You are going to be Johnny on the spot when all this stuff blows up and it's integrated into all of our systems. How do you get the hardware going? You could invest, and you could have a machine down the street where people can go and buy crypto. You can start your own mom and pop shop, and be an advisor to people. You could be a coder. You could be, so many different things in this space. We're it's and I love that we're doing that, Dad. We're not You and I just aren't one angle. It's how do we foster other angles, and then how do we kind of get close to those people who want to do it and be like, okay, is this right for you? And the fact that you and I are on that same page, it reminds me that we are the right people to be in the middle of that. We want to encourage you, and we want it to be right for you. There are months where I can't buy crypto because it don't make no sense, because I don't want to sell it. And so even just something as basic as that, it's like, get your plan going, get yourself right, and then really start to grow this other appendage. Some of us start channels to foster communities. Others will be big players in the space, but all of us now are, yes, initial investors in this technology. That Why are we all pissed off, and why did we probably all come to this space in the first place? Because we feel like we're being pushed into the Stone Age. And we're the people who, like Quincy, are writing code and promoting it, that's space age type stuff, and it isn't
Yeah.
that it's so radical. Where it's radical and special is, it's like I wrote down all the key ones. We're trying to fix money here, and it's bigger than any one of us. Decentralized peer-to-peer trading via tokenization of everything, immutable, open source, permissionless. Those concepts build a big picture for humanity, and how we trade. We look at how we trade, which now to most of us looks very Stone Age. And there's people keeping us from the door of trying to advance and be the space age folk that we are. We are that. People
Yeah.
have People are fixing money even. There
Yeah.
isn't much that we can't do here, people. So, you know, being that there's kind of a little rebellion in it of being in this gray area, and it's like, okay, the lawmakers and the people want to tax the hell out of it, and they want to keep private wallets out of our hands. And I just
It's not going to
they're
work.
they're I see them losing in that. I see them losing any ounce or shred left of any, once enough people get on board with this, where we talk about it all the time, where 5% of humanity's already hip on this stuff. What happens when it's 10?
Yeah.
It's an explosion, and we don't want to see, guys. We don't want to see 10% of the people only hold 10% of the crypto. at the end of this thing.
Right.
We gotta, once we get ourselves right, it's got to be bigger picture for what we can do in this space together.
Yeah. The the amount of money, digits, that is coming to crypto. Let me backtrack just a little bit. Okay, when you look at all the things they're trying to do, everything they're trying to do right now is, oh, okay, well, we better get ahead of this capital gains tax. Well, okay, all the economists are telling you, well, the economy's slowing down and people are spending less money. Well, why is the government want to double the amount of capital gains tax? Like, if you ask yourself that, because they know there's going to be a bunch of people profiting from something. What are they insinuating? They're insinuating that there's going to be a lot of profit coming forward. Where? Well, probably precious metals and crypto. So they're getting out ahead of this. This is the warning signs being shot all around you. They're trying to eliminate your private wallets. They want to make sure that you're stuck in a Wall Street product or a Coinbase product. And they don't want you to custodian your own coins, because they can't profit from that. You're simply pulling the coin off an exchange and you hold them. They can't profit from that. That's like being able to own your own, stock. They don't want you to do that. They want you to go through the house so they can earn. All of these are warning signs, but the biggest warning sign for me is the one that I had a great conversation with somebody with recently, a couple of them, one with Sean and some other people, was what's going on with this stable coin is really, really big. Isn't it interesting that it's almost impossible? Let's think about this. Put your thinking cap on for 1 second. It's almost impossible for you to lose a single penny with a stable coin. How do you lose money there? You can't really, right? Okay. Why are they coming after that? If the SEC's job, right, is to save the little guy from being abused somehow, why are they coming after the stablecoin, guys? Hello? Is anybody listening?
You're just
Like,
making too much
because
sense there.
they want to own it. They want to control it. They want to eliminate the guy, which is the Tether guy, because he's offshore. That's offshore and not within their control, not within the grasp of their control. So what are they going to do with that? They're going to try and make you hate that one through Congress, whatever, and do business with them. And like I've said on my show many times, there's going to be 1,000 different stable coins. Now, let me get to where the end of what I was just talking about. That all is trillions of dollars, guys. Hundreds, not tens of trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollars are going to flood in through stable coins. That's your bond market. All of that now becomes your bond market. All of those bonds that nobody wants to buy because everybody's smart enough and they're over the age of 35, under the age of 35, are like, a bond? Please. You mean James? Like the movie? No, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And why would I? Because the whole damn thing doesn't make sense, because you guys were like throwing all these terms around and made it impossible for the average guy on his phone to say, click, I want to buy that. Click, I want to buy that. You can't do that with a bond. Like, what? So they're going to funnel all the trillions of dollars of derivatives, of bonds money that I've been. How long have I been saying this, Brent? They're going to funnel all of this in through the stable coins. And where does it go from the stable coin? It goes into XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of these. And why do they want to cut off the on ramp and off ramp? The on ramp and off ramp is you. They want to get commission. I want my dig. I want the little digits in between all the digits, because they're about to lose $7 trillion in commissions. and they want to make it up somehow, and they're not going to let you have the big piggy bank of all the hundreds of trillions of dollars I just talked about in all these other markets. They're not going to let you have those without getting their commission. And that's where they're at. That's why they're coming after it. Why are they coming after stable coins when nobody's being affected? Who's the loser in the stable coin? They are. That's why Congress is not. Well, we better get all these passed immediately. They tell you what they're up to. It's just for us to remind everybody, because I know you guys are all smart enough to know all this stuff. We have to remind each other, hey, they're not really on our side. They're kind of on their own side. But if you and I know where they're going with it all, we can all prosper together.
That's it. It reminds me of the greatest Wall Street scene, in my opinion, ever put on film with McConaughey and the Wolf of Wall Street. You know, you get your client into an investment, and he's made 30%, and he's all happy, and he wants to just tuck tail and run, but you don't let him do that because that would make it real. No, you get him into a new stock, a new investment, and then the carousel just keeps going round and round. 365, 24/7. And we're riding that wheel for way too long, folks. Everybody in here knows it. We know it. Like, we know it in our bones. We know it. So who are we going to be? Who are we going to be in this thing? And man, I'm happy to be in it with all of you, because you look at, Dad and I were just watching one of Lynn Alden's new videos. I think it's called How Money and Banking Works. And she articulated, in 44, when all these nations came together, and Bretton Woods, and US dollar backed by gold. Well, look at how all that's gone. Let's look at how all that's gone. And now feel the temperature in the room globally of, BRICS nations, and the development of CBDCs, and the dollar not being backed by gold, and, the petrodollar. It's, it feels like they're empty promises, is what you get. And you end up paying for them. Somebody else always ends up paying. And I'm ready to receive, and I'm ready for all of you to receive, and have
Same.
voices, and have positions of power, and have prosperity and wealth. That's in mine and my Father's bones, is how bad we want all that for you, because we know when you got it, that
It's coming.
community, that we're going to benefit from it. We're going to benefit from you being successful. It's going to make it real. And I want to make it real with you, all of you.
I got a reply to this. I was finally convinced. I know it's in our chat and our live and everywhere else. Velo. I finally spent about 2 hours on it last night, and I can honestly say that Velo is my next purchase. I'm serious. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. It's okay. Yeah, right. There's too many coins out there, guys. But one of my favorite things is when something's been out for a couple of years and it shot up, like in the old ICO days. It shot up and I think it went to $1.80, $1.90 or something like that. And then now it's down to like pennies. Love those coins as long as they're still relevant. And as long as they're moving and shaking and they're making things happen in markets. Well, what I looked into, because of my buddy Frank from Utah, he was like, Alan, don't sleep on that coin, man. It's a real deal, and it's big in Southeast Asia, And you know what happens when things blow up down there? They blow up big. And then he started getting into a bunch of stuff, and he's like, just please look into it for me. And I'm like, wrote it down. I'm like, done. I'm going to do a deep dive on it. I spent an hour and a half on it last night in my bunk. And I was like, where do I buy? Hello, like the gold. They just came out with a gold white paper last week. One of my favorite economists in not Singapore, and it was South Korea. One of my favorite economists, a South Korean guy, said, "Oh yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I've been in Velo for like 2 years. Like, yeah, those people are going to make it happen." And he called it. I want to say he called it the Asian XRP in an interview that I listened to last night. And he's brilliant, by the way. He's the guy who was behind Ethereum way back in the day, and he was a banker. That's where he came from. So I follow his material. But yeah, Velo, a real project, great,
Nice.
a great concept that everybody's going to use, and you're not going to know you're using it. And then they backed it with a gold white paper, and I was like, oh, I got to get that. I wasn't able to get my hands on the gold white paper though, so if somebody's got it, send it to me. I couldn't find it anywhere. It said that they had done it, but they didn't say. I didn't get to read it, so I was like, huh. Because as you guys know, I struggle with gold in a blockchain manner, because where's the gold, who counted it, what room's it in, and where's it stored? I mean, like all of that's an issue for gold on my end. So anyway,
Dad, my professor asked, "Is that my friend Frank you were talking about?"
sorry, say that again, Brent.
Is that my friend Frank you were talking about? What was his name?
Yes, that is our friend Frank, uh, Mr. Professor. Yes, you know exactly who he is. You guys have been in the same, uh, I'll call it a Discord group, but yeah, that guy. Yeah, he and I met last year, and we were meant to meet, obviously. So yeah, yeah, you know who he is. I would tell you the group that he's in, but I don't really want to put it out there because it's kind of a private group, and I don't. Yeah,
We keep them
but
private.
yeah, I mean, it. In my opinion, if you know anything about uh, XRP or any period of time like 5 years ago, it was the deep think group of all the XRP groups. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. It's a live show. I don't know what I can say without outing
Right.
everybody in the whole group. It's not a secret group necessarily. It's just sort of an exclusive group. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Uh,
What is going on, crew? Welcome in, Hoofty. Welcome in, Professor. Crypto Nerd, good to see you. Thanks for being here with us the whole time.
yeah.
Man, these are our folks. Kita's in here. We love you. Love seeing that follow-up show. I'm gonna keep watching anything you're doing. That's for sure. We got Oaken House, Owl's Pond, our friend Will. Hey crew, our friend Will says, I believe Jed McCaleb is basically running the whole show for Velo. Yes, that Jed McCaleb.
I hope not.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not going to do that on this show, but
No, let's
I'm not the
stay high
biggest.
vibration here.
I'm not the
Um,
biggest McCaleb fan, but anyway.
um, our friend Cody's on the show. I want to send a special thank you to you, bro, for just as I really before the show, I just really opened up my heart to a lot of people that have connected with us, and to see my friend build a show, and you know the way that you're thinking it out, and you're very methodical on there, and you go over a variety of things that I'm feeling, and you've brought up thoughts in my mind that are so expansive. Cody's got a new video out today on money paradise, and go check that out. It's about FOMO, and then he also's got a rant about meme coins on there. So I'll be watching that after the show. We love you, brother.
And
Joanna,
in the house.
Joanna, we can't wait to connect with you. We hope you and your fam are doing good.
We got Keita in the house. I got to give her a big hug at the karaoke night, but man, our ships went like that. Like,
yeah,
she was there all weekend. I never even got to see her. I was like one of the probably
same.
the most important person I wanted to just sit down and have a quiet conversation with of everybody, and I never got it. So I don't know what happened there. That bummed me out a little bit. But
I
yeah,
know.
she is the real deal. I honestly, I don't know what happened, girl. I mean, I got to thinking about the whole weekend, and there was probably like 10 people that were like that for me. I was like, man, I didn't get to talk to. I mean, I didn't even get to talk to Northern Living hardly at all. Like, I know you did, Brent, but I didn't get to chat with him as much as I wanted. But
Thank goodness I did. Uh,
yeah,
our secret weapon, as he's been deemed.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's you're my guy, Landon. I love you, man.
we
You're
have some really cool interviews coming out that we're slowly going to release, like one a week or something like that, of people that you're going to get to meet. And
yeah.
Kato was one of the people that I wanted to do an interview with, and we just, where does the time go, you know? But we
Yeah,
got a couple of,
her and Jay and Melissa are the ones we really, we got to make
yeah.
sure and get them.
But just for everybody in the chat here, we got one of Northern Living. We did get him on camera. And I
Mhm.
think, like Brett just mentioned, he's our secret weapon. The man knows way more about crypto than he comes across. He comes across as just an average guy, you know. And the next thing you know, you talk to him for 10 minutes, you're like, this is what I mean about you people. All of you are sharp, and all of you have got the big picture. And all of us put those little bits together, you know, to create the whole family and the puzzle together. And it's just, you guys make my mind just, because you keep me grounded, but you throw in these little pieces every now and then that just are so expansive that I just run with it. And it's so much fun. We all do it together. It's so great.
I had
Yeah.
a I didn't know what it meant, but I had a dream last night. I used to dream a lot, but I don't anymore. And I was moving into this new house with a couple other people. I think it was like a couple, and they got this wing of the house, and I get this wing of the house. And as I explored my wing of the house, I just kept going deeper and deeper in, and just finding new and kind of cool things, like things that had been kind of abandoned, but were so awesome, and it was like, man, with a little polish, like, this is going to be awesome. There was like a giant hot tub in the room. There was like the kind, like if you had a sound system in your home in like the 90s to 2000s, like with turntable and everything, it was there. It was just like, it was like, to me, it was like this analogy of all of us. It's like I've come into this space, and have all these, amazing things, amazing people, and I just want to help encourage you and polish you, and you know help you know your worth, and what you bring to us. Um, it's not just the Alan and Brent show anymore. It's
No.
This is a place for you to have a voice, and a lot of the people that we've mentioned today, we want to give a voice to. I'm aggressively kind of building out our X, so that when the day comes when we hit go on Twitter or X Spaces, we're having you all on there, to share your gold, to share who you are. Um, so we're gonna get that going. Um, our direct messages in Patreon are amazing. I usually end up writing people about 2 paragraphs. Um, and there's so much honesty, and there's so much trust, and we don't ever want to compromise that. We're always going to be looking to put you in the right spot. We'll tell you if we don't like something. It's about the truth, and also creating together. It's a balance, and we're going to get some wrong. Um, we had somebody that I really love, on the channel and care about, um, not identify with what we were putting out, at the time, and like we get them wrong, and in that situation, it's like I love you now, I love you forever, like I got your back. Nobody wants you to succeed more than I do, but teach us if there's something that we're not hitting on. We need you. We need your minds, and your hearts to teach us, and that will be the great wealth to Alan and I in the future. It just will be. I saw it the whole week. I exploded verbally in my car driving home from work this week. I had no voice left. Just gratitude, thankfulness for everybody that I have, and how much they filled me up. So that
Yeah.
is, man, we could talk about it all day, couldn't we?
No, thank you, Alice Pond. It's amazing how many people had a lot of really touching moments about that video. The last couple videos I've done. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. And yes, happy Mother's Day, ladies. No, I don't think it's a bad thing that Jet McHale was involved with Velo at all. I don't. I That's not what I was implying. He's a brilliant man and he knows what he's doing. He's just, in my opinion, how do I put this politely without just putting my foot in my mouth, son? He's connected.
Hmm.
I'm going to leave it at that. He's connected to maybe some people that you may or may not approve of. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. I don't know the man, never met the man, but I can do math. Let's see.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's not what it's not. It is what it is anymore, Sean. It's I don't know. I was wrong. Teach me.
yeah.
You know, help me expand. I love that
Wow.
comment, Jay Dan. I love it.
Yep. Thanks, Joanna. Yes. XRP, XLM, and Velo. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Sophia.
And
Appreciate you too.
Professor, I don't know if Professor and I've had that discussion or not, but we need to have a discussion about him, about
Mhm.
Judd. Yeah.
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 Professor, somebody I want to give a voice to on Patreon. I look forward to us working together, brother.
Yeah,
You inspired what I'm trying to put down, and so is my dad, and so have I. You know, you got to be what you are in this world. Um, Krasowski, what's up, my brother? When do you think it will start to cut interest rates in the U.S. and the EU?
that's an easy one. They're not going to cut anything until it gets nasty. It. I don't know how everybody messes this one up, and I'm not. I don't. I don't know everything, but this is simple math, guys. They raise the interest rates to take control of inflation, right? Well, inflation hasn't gone away. I don't know if you've been to the store lately, but it hasn't gone away. I don't care what they say, it hasn't gone away. Doesn't matter what they say, it's what they do, right? So when everybody starts, when the high interest rates start crushing the economy or your jobs, or the plumber or the electrician down the street from you starts losing their jobs, more so than now, or the pain becomes more severe to where politically they can't take it any longer, they will reduce rates. Not until. And if inflation, true inflation, gets out of control, they will raise them. So what I mean to say by that, if you're waiting for inflation or in interest rates to drop for us to have a bull market, that's not necessary. We could stay at these interest rates for decades. And if you like the banking system the way it is, I believe that it's healthier than zero. Zero is a concept of like only MMT people believe in. Like that money has to have value. When you give your brother-in-law $5,000, you're just going to do it and hope he gives it back to you for nothing. You're taking risk, right? There has to be reward for that loan. Otherwise, money has no value, right? So I'm going off on a tangent here, but the bottom line is they're going to wait for it to the boat to really start sinking before they pull that out, because that was a card for them. That was a okay. This is a get out of jail free card. We'll just drop it a whole point, not 5 basis points or 25 basis points like they raised it. We'll drop it 100 basis points tomorrow when they have to. It's a stopgap. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's not. They're not going to do it anytime soon, unless they feel like they can win an election with it or something. Maybe then. Yeah. Not to be a roundabout about it, but that's when you'll know. When they say, "Oh, like unemployment's through the roof," and they'll drop it. Uh, that's a strange thing. I haven't seen XRP Slave all day.
Yeah, where's my
Hmm.
brother?
Where's my brother?
Where's my
Where are you,
musketeer,
bud?
man? Where you at, bro?
Doggone it. Uh,
We love you,
yeah,
man. What you've given to us is invaluable. It's huge. It's huge.
yeah. Did you? I don't know if you heard this one, Crypto Professor, but they're moving to uh, Exodus wallet is moving to El Salvador, guys. And
Oh wow.
for good reason, as you might imagine what all those reasons might be, because they're a good wallet and they're honest. And actually, it was one of the few wallets that worked really well through the whole Canadian thing, too. And the founder, came out and said, "Look, I don't care what the government does. I can't stop it. That's your wallet. I don't have a back door to that. They're going to have to kill me. I don't know what I can't do it. Even then, it's not going to stop it. It's a
Yeah.
truly decentralized wallet. It's a brilliant wallet, and I love it. And I really think highly of it, and the founder of it. And then when they started coming after him, and he said, "Well, I'm just going to pick up stakes and I'm going to or down to El Salvador," I was like, "That's when you know, A, somebody's honest, or B, when the system starts coming after things, that's when you know you might want to be involved in those." Like
Right.
when the SEC came after XRP, a lot of people were, telling me to sell my XRP coins. I'm like, no, 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 you don't understand. The guys coming after my coins, I don't care for. That tells me I got the right coins. And that's
Exactly.
kind of what I had a conversation with Brad about the other day, was like Brad Kimes. I was like, hey, Brad, like they're coming after Tether, buddy. You remember they came after us? You remember that 3 years? Now they're coming after Tether. We're kind of on the same team. You see what I'm saying here? You can't
Hmm.
all of a sudden say, hey, oh, wow, man. Oh, see, I knew I was right about Tether all along. See, the government's coming after them. That means they're bad guys. It's like, hello, are you living in a glass house? Because just a minute ago, you told me that those were bad actors coming after your honest coin. So we have to really, that's a warning sign to me. It's like, oh, the government or the Homeland Security's coming after this, or like somebody sent me that Homeland Security knows who Satoshi is. Like, that's a bad thing. Like, I like that video. Like, people thought, well, that's a bad thing. That Homeland Security. I'm like, no, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Christian asked that
uh,
very question, Dad. You think the SEC will go after Tether? What can we? We've all got our theories about how it's
yeah,
going to go. I think a lot of us, me personally, I saw as Sean articulated it to me, Tether potentially being a black swan event. But
could
I
be.
don't, yeah, maybe. Um, could it get consumed by something that will be bigger and more widely used than it? Maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
I think a lot of people don't understand how stable coins work. Like, everyone says, oh, well, if Tether goes away, Bitcoin will go to zero. It's like, you don't understand how stable coins work if you say that. Like, it was once a stable coin, it was once a dollar, and now it's a Bitcoin. It's not, it's not in limbo of both. It's like, well,
right.
now it's a Bitcoin. Those dollars are all in the Bitcoin now. Like, if Tether goes to zero, that doesn't mean Bitcoin goes to zero. That means all the money would stay in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's just like an XRP coin, right? It's the liquidity going into the other asset. It's crazy to me, but anyway, it's, how we all get information in different ways, and it resonates in different ways. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and and you know, my only issue with stable coins is that there's going to be thousands of them, not one. It won't be one, guys. That's,
No.
you don't want one. And what'll
No.
happen is that the public walks away from Tether because they've been told by the boogeyman that, oh, that's the boogeyman. Those are the bad actors. Don't go with that coin. Go with this coin. Like, we'll slowly weed out the good actors, and we'll slowly decide. The public consciousness will find its place that it feels most confident and happy with. And that'll be dozens of coins, dozens of crypto, dozens of stable coins, dozens of governments. And all of that is how it's always gone, you know, and it
Mm.
always will. Yeah. Uh,
Yep.
yeah. Yes. Um, Tether has bought a bunch of treasuries. Yeah. So your treasuries would be more in jeopardy of losing value than the Bitcoin. Do you understand? See what I mean? Now, Tether owns a lot of Bitcoin, but that's a hard asset.
Mm.
They own a bunch. The only way it could be bad for Bitcoin is if they sold them. coins. Why would they do that? Yeah. Yep. They own 70,000 Bitcoin, actually. I just looked it up last week. And they're buying gold now, guys. Anyway.
Yeah.
Uh,
Money Paradise says, Alan, your commentary on Japan moving away from the US dollar has me thinking about the rising costs of electronics for consumers. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious about such things, Dad. I'd love to hear your angle on, just global trade, and country to country, exchange, like how, currencies failing, and them needing to race to their own aids and adopt systems. I guess kind of a general what will that transition look like? For the Asian sector, America, Europe, like I guess it's not even really a question. It's just like I had talked about before we left for the trip, it's like we're so lucky to have crew come in here that are looking at all those things and do live in Europe and do live in Asia. Because it's like, well, what happens to one will certainly affect the other. As far as cost of goods, like everything's going up anyway.
yeah.
What are you going to trade with?
Yeah.
There's too just thinking of there's too many to even talk about. There's too many. Yeah, electronics from one country is just one of 256.
That's really it. I mean, it's all in what you're going to be comfortable with. I'm hearing people, do I use USDC? I mean, yeah, you're comfortable with that. That's what you should do. Let's remember, guys, you're only in it for that long. I mean, unless you're holding your money in the stable coins waiting for a trade, I don't know what you're doing in a stable coin. You might as well have your money in a bank, or you might as well have your money in a US dollar, which is subject to inflation. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're better off in any coin, my opinion, rather than the dollar. But yeah. Yeah.
Welcome in, Becky. We talked about you a lot this week. I hope your ears were ringing.
I gotta shut the door. The jets are out.
We certainly felt the energy from you, and we see it in the comments, and it means the world to us. Yeah, try reloading it so you can see us. Try refreshing it.
Maybe I'll give everybody a quick walk around.
Hey, that was requested.
It was?
Yeah, it was. Tour of Allegro. I mean, some random boat somewhere out. Who knows where?
Yeah, it could get really bright though, guys. Let's see. See if I can do this without making anybody too seasick.
So Dad is at the aft deck right now.
Is that too bright, Brent, or can you see anything?
It's not too bad. It's not blinding. We're just seeing the bay here. So going out that direction leads out towards San Diego itself. Pretty cool. Pretty cool spot in the world. Dad and I have had many crazy chats on that deck. You're frozen up now, Dad, if you can hear us. At least on my end. But yeah, my dad is had the privilege of working with that family for over 10 years now, and it's where I got my start in yachting. I got to go on the very last charter with um, his bosses, which have both since passed and left it to their children. Um, but they gave me my start, and they've taken good care of my dad, and it's been really cool to be yacht people. To come from little small town nothing, and you go and you work with billionaires. You work with people that buy sports franchises and have big connections, business wise in the world. You start to absorb a lot of that, and you become like Alan. You become a guy who is already excited to be a broker in his life and trading forex and all these other things, and then you get connected with these people, and it's expanding. All of a sudden you see what you can create in your life. Some of, like, these guys, really just bought real estate, um and just made it happen. Yeah, you cut out pretty hard
Nice.
there for a minute, Dad.
The the Wolf of Yacht Street. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I one of the things about working with the people that I've worked with over my lifetime is that you gain a different perspective of life, And I I had a great conversation with a guy last week. We did an interview, and we'll be posting that soon. And one of the things brought up is I don't. It's really hard for me to learn from people that think exactly like I do. Like, it's useless to me almost. Like, I gain so much more when I get to meet somebody who's, like, got this completely different perspective about the way their life is gone.
Mhm.
And when I meet people, that's what, like, when I first met Sean, it was like that was really cool, because he had a different perspective. And
Yeah.
then so many of us, we just kind of agree on the same thing. And
Mhm.
I've learned so much from somebody just telling me something 180 degrees from where my mind was. I go, oh, wow. And when you hear that and you don't automatically just shut it off, you obtain it and you mull it through your head, and you're like, wow, that's where they're coming from. That's their life experience. And then you gain so much perspective, and it's really been amazing. And I'm talking to, most of us are poor in this chat group, pretty poor folk. So it's hard for me when I hear people talk about wealthy people, because they have absolutely no reference. They don't have any reference about wealth. They don't know what it means. They've only heard people tell them that it's bad. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but most of the bad people I've met in my lifetime were, you know, live in a trailer park, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, if you go to the ghetto, there's some bad folk down there. Proportionately, I'm gonna say those are probably more troubled. Let's go with that word.
Scary.
They have a different
Yeah.
perspective, you know, and you can learn from them too, right? You can learn how you don't want your life to turn out, maybe in some ways. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
That
Hey,
reminds
by
me,
the way,
yeah, what do you got?
yeah, I know that we're all going to be wealthy in this group. I'm pretty much sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. It reminded me of um, one of the people I made a point to watch at the seminar, in XRP Vegas, was John Deaton, um, because I've gone so anti politician in my recent years, and that I'm trying to see it all, and it's hard when you watch the news to see anything. You're led into chaos and fear. And what comforted me about John running was the real stuff. Yeah, I mean he supports us and what we want to do in crypto clearly, but the guy came from nothing, and he told that story. And the people that I know that have come from nothing, or had very little, typically get people. They typically, somewhere in there, they got a heart for people, and they had to fight their way up, and they had to fight through some tough cookies to get there.
Yeah.
And that's somebody I'm a little more ready to look at.
Yeah.
Running
Agreed.
things. And I couldn't wish the guy any more luck in the coming election, for the great state of Massachusetts.
Yeah, he's gonna crush it. I think he's gonna win personally. I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. We have a great question in here from Gerald. Uh,
Hey, Gerald.
was it Gerald? I believe. Um, I'm debt free. Is that a mistake? Okay, I'm gonna say no. Clearly, that's not a bad idea. I am going to say that in this inflationary time in which we live right now, it's really, really important that you have assets, because there's no other way for you to stay ahead of inflation. So your asset, I'm going to guess that when you say debt free, that means you own your home as well. I'm just guessing. Or if you're renting and you're debt free, yes, I would consider that a mistake if you don't have any assets. If you don't have something that can surpass the amount of inflation or the printing that is coming, and it's always coming, it's never ending, you're going to struggle. Yeah. I I was listening to a guy do a show the other day. I was driving yesterday, so I got a lot of time to listen. And a statistic that hit me really hard in an interview yesterday was this one. If you look at Bitcoin in the last 10 years, it's up 200%, almost 200% annually. I want everybody to remember that that's not 200, that's 200% against the dollar. Okay. That, let's also remember 200% annually is compounding. You understand that? Do you understand that nothing on this planet compounds by 200% annually? Nothing. I know there's a few coins that have. I know. I get that. Solana lately. There's some other coins. And if you look at XRP over its, I don't know, the last 6 or 8 years, it's compounding as well at a very high rate. But when you compound by 200% annually, that means your net worth doubled annually. You doubled your net worth annually by owning Bitcoin. And I'm not talking about, oh, well, it used to be at 60 and now it's at 40. I'm talking about compounding against the dollar annually. And you have to look at it in 4 and 5 and 10-year spans. So don't look at number now. Look at the asset in which you hold, and you look at the compound or the value against the dollar, what gold has done, and what real estate has done, and what technology stocks have done, and NASDAQ in particular. But those things, a man that does an incredible job of all of this is Raoul Paul. And he talks about the everything bubble. And we're in that everything bubble. But he's also very explicit about you better own this, this, and that. So to answer the question along about way, I would not want to be completely debt free and not own any assets. that would not be good. And I know there's Ramsey and there's other economists out there that will tell you that's the position you need to live in, is get out of debt. But let's remember, Mr. Ramsey is a dollar fanatic. He believes in the dollar. He believes in the future of the dollar, and he doesn't understand XRP. He doesn't understand Bitcoin. He's admitted so much. I'm sorry that he just like, okay, good for you, but I do. I do understand the technology, and I know where the damn thing's going, and it's not maybe. So, you know, yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I love it,
So to
Dad.
be
It's
debt free is a wonderful thing, boy.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
Like Elizabeth said, it's liberating. Like
Yeah,
what you're saying, it's a cost analysis. You know, your debt is working against you, but if you don't have anything that's working for you, you know, what's the balance there?
yeah.
Great to have
Rashim in the house, my brother.
Rashim.
Can't wait for you guys to see Rashim's interview we did in Vegas.
Yes.
Conscious Contact is
We got
his
we got the
online
man
name.
himself.
We had so much fun. That was great.
Dude,
That was
I
just,
loved you
we
instantly,
didn't get
man.
to see him the rest of the weekend. He just disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Where did you go?
By
It was
Sunday,
meant
I
to
was
be.
like, I was saying to myself, was he even really there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did
Did
we
he just
really do
morph
that
in
interview with him?
spirit wise? Did he just
Because we did the interview like Thursday, didn't we?
when we run the video back, Dad? There's nobody there sitting next to
There's
us.
no,
We're just having a conversation with the ethereal
yeah.
plane.
It's
That'd be
just his
sweet.
consciousness was there.
We're
That's it.
posting it either way. So we're
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh,
love
yeah. I
it.
love physical gold and silver, in particular silver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love him.
Northern Lemmy saw the interview. It was good. It was wait, just wait, guys. The man is. I really wanted to deep dive into his life because he's got one of those life stories that is just like it just makes you feel like proud of the human race. Yeah,
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 I wanted to hear it too, but I'm really glad where we went and where he went with it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
So good.
You're a beautiful person, man. I
Yes.
excited to have you in my life. Everybody, check out Conscious Contact on YouTube. You will not be disappointed. It is beyond feel good. Um, it builds me up in the right ways.
Yeah. Cody, great point about Ramsey was asked if he understood the technology, and he said he read the white paper. It's like, I'm sorry, if you read the white paper and you understand English and you understand economics, you
Yeah,
read that paper again. And then when you read it the second time, you say to yourself, this could change all of mankind. And how is it that that man could have read that and still not get it? I'm sorry, I really struggle with that. Or he went in with such a bias that he couldn't see it for what it was. You know,
right.
that's sad if that's the case. Sounds like that's the case, you know, because let's remember, guys, none of us really know. All of what all of us really know is what we've learned, right?
Hmm.
But I know that mathematically, cryptocurrency makes more sense than the old digit. The old digit is done for, guys. It's been abused, and they have to bring it into something real again. So anyway, yeah,
Yeah. two two points on Dave. First of all, Hoofty, absolutely. You know, the guy has helped, including some of my friends who have been in big debt, um, climb out of it. Dave Ramsey helps people. Um, and then on the on the other end, but no, stick with the growth stock mutual funds. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Right.
right, yeah.
Hey,
Also good
Claudia,
trading.
are you the lady? I believe you're the lady I met at the show.
Yes, she is.
It is.
Yep.
I didn't know she was in her live stream.
She's on our Patreon too. You gotta
Yes.
hit her up over there, Dad.
She's, by the way, the people that saw the 2 videos ago, she's the person that made me get all wound up.
Much love to you,
Yeah.
Claudia.
There's
Let's
something
get
very powerful about people in my whenever I meet them. It's I know what it is. I put my finger on it just the other day. Um, as many of you, not many of you know, our dog passed away, Louie, and Lou, beautiful dog that he was, is LUE, stands for Life, Universe, Everything. So that was Lou's name. So that's what you call me, right?
yes.
And he, or his Hawaiian name was Tupulu,
Yeah.
but that's sort of a inside
Uh-huh.
joke. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was the man, okay, in so many different ways. And
She
I
was.
got it's weird because his passing didn't affect me in a negative way. It was really in a positive way because he was ready to go, and he was wanting to be on the other side, and
Yeah.
he was ready. And like Elizabeth said in her show this morning, she has a show, and it it's so true. He waited for us to get back from Vegas,
Yeah.
and it was such a neat concept that the dog was connected to us so deeply. But I tear up, guys. Just so you know, I tear up with compassion,
Yeah.
not with empathy. I don't I don't tear up with empathy as much for my fellow man. It's more for my compassion. It's my joyous love of people that overwhelms me and brings me to tear. So it's a little different than a lot of people, but that's just the guy you're dealing with here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I cry during both, Dad.
yeah, right, yeah,
Too. I think I
during
cried
both.
like I started crying on today's show, but just talking about how amazing all our moms are. But yeah, I was shed some both tears for Lou. It was I didn't want to see him hurt at all. He's the last guy I want to see in pain. Um, he he's my favorite dog of all time, and um, it was the way that he looked at me. It was when his eyes locked on and he'd put his head down and he'd just start trudging towards you, and he just he made me feel real. He was as they say, true companion. Um, and I couldn't love that guy anymore. I on the note you're talking about, Dad. The good stuff. I'm excited to go on hikes with him now and have
Yeah,
him with me all the time. And he's gonna live right here for the rest of my days. He was that guy.
Brent, that's it. We got a question here by Magnificent here.
What's up, Mags?
When uh, when are we going to go X Spaces? Soon, right?
Yeah, why don't we all decide together right now? Um, I think we need the next week to really cut this film up and get it right. Um, Ron and Kat are this amazing, you know, that's they do for a living. They make great quality film, at events. And Dad and I are gorillas, you know, not the freedom fighters, but just the monkey kind. You know, with you know, this has either been on our first 50 episodes were filmed on this, you know, and then the next 100 were on Dad's phone, and then now they're on our computers too. So I'm gonna get back into editing mode this week, and then I say let's start doing that here, and you know, within
Yeah.
the next couple weeks.
So we're
Let's
going
just
to
take
put
it.
that, like Elizabeth said,
I'm
yeah,
loving
with
being on.
StreamYard, we can do both, I'm pretty sure. It's just a matter of getting everybody connected all at the same time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if you're on X, start following us over there. Start seeing the people that we're connecting with. There's a lot of people from the show, and a lot of people that you know we were there with that bonded, and we want you to bond with them as well. Um, but see what gold they're reposting and putting out is just amazing. Like I'm looking at so many different new things in the last week that I wasn't looking at. Um, so please join us over there, and we'll get running on it. You were frozen there for a sec, Dad, but you're back. Welcome back. Many happy returns, Captain.
sorry.
Um,
I had to check on, I'm still at work.
yeah, uh,
Um, our X name is the Staple Crew, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. Shout out
thank
to the
you
mom.
everybody who's reposted us and made us feel involved and welcome and want to work with us, and um, it's just all abundance to us. It's awesome.
Well, I just got invited to trivia night tomorrow night.
Oh, you gotta go.
It's my boss, so I don't know. It sounds like maybe I have to. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to. You have
Yeah.
to. That
Sounds like it.
restaurant's cool. She's cool.
I
Trivia
don't
night's
know.
fun. I
Maybe
mean, you
she'll
know,
give me a ride. Maybe she'll give me a ride in her McLaren.
yeah.
Please pick me up.
Please.
Hey, my car isn't running good. Could you please swing by and pick me up? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the beds. No, could you bring the McLaren? Yeah, just thanks. And yeah, it'd be good to see her again.
I think I'd be okay at trivia. Not great, but I think, well, the old stuff maybe.
Yeah, yeah, the
New trivia, not so good.
Trivia Pursuit era, strong. But yeah, my kooky generation, you know, media nutball fest.
Right, right.
Hang on, Dad. I believe in you.
Speaking of, I have a meeting with her and I have a hard stop at 3 o'clock, guys.
All right,
Uh,
3 minutes.
well, 3 o'clock our time. Yeah.
Your shirts.
She's running late, but yeah, we got a few minutes.
Yeah, as long as it's Jim Carrey trivia questions, Dad, you'll be right in there. You'll be right in the hunt.
I would think. I don't think I have anything to wear to the yacht club, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
Just rock
anyway,
this guy. Just rock this guy right here. Like, hey Alan,
yep,
what's that?
right. Walk in there
Uh,
owning the place.
yeah.
Yep. Sean is the man. Thank you, Northern Living. Yes, thanks. Always. It's good being with you people. Always.
We
Always my pleasure.
always.
And Brent,
Shall we everybody go have an amazing Mother's Day. Go call your moms. Stay amazing. We will be back with you soon. We love you
yeah.
all.
Thanks, moms.